Hello traders and welcome to another video review. Today is Friday, March 8th, 2024. Let's have a look at the economic calendar for today. The key event of today is, of course, the non-farm payrolls data from the US as usual. So this data is scheduled for release at 2:30. So let me just clear this calendar with the high importance data release events, so we can have a clear picture on what we should actually focus on. And as you can see, we got the non-farm payrolls scheduled for release 2:30, together with the unemployment rate and the average hourly earnings. So those are the key events of today. It doesn't actually look like any other event will take place of this, most important data releases. Nevertheless, let's just find out what is going on the other countries. Overnight data from Japan, as you can see, in form of the household spending and the current account, were completely different than the market participants' expectations. Some of them, like household spending, went a little bit lower than expected, but the current account extended significantly below the forecast of minus 0.33 trillion yen to 0.43 trillion yen. German data are scheduled for this at 8 o'clock in form of the industrial production and the PPI. At 11 o'clock we got the Eurozone GDP, and then there is almost nothing until the non-farm payrolls data is scheduled for release. Data from the Canada scheduled for release at 2:30. Unemployment rate and the employment change might be a little bit interesting as well, especially for the US, for the Canadian dollar traders. And then, as you can see, we got all of this CFTC speculative net positions scheduled for release 9:30. So plenty of data here as well, because it's Friday, so every Friday we got this kind of a speculative net positions scheduled for release. So because we got the non-farm payrolls, let's just find out what the euro is doing, of course, and the US dollar. Nevertheless, our technical part will start from the king of the recent times, which is the Bitcoin. The hourly chart of the Bitcoin is showing us the pressure from the bulls on the prices above the $68,000. So you can see that we are hovering around the 50 periods moving average, and the price is approaching the next target, which is the all-time high located at 69,317. The market bounces from the level of 50 on the RSI and on the hourly time frame, and it's ready to move higher. So the outlook remains bullish. We should see more upside soon on the Bitcoin. If we switch to, let's say, a daily time frame chart, okay, that's a little bit too harsh. Nevertheless, you can see it straight on that there was only one pullback that ended up with a red candle, and then you got a green candle. Today's candle is green. Who knows, maybe even the breakout above the $70,000 will be made today or even during the weekend. It all looks very, very bullish. Okay, so that was the Bitcoin, the king of the recent times. Let's go back to the euro dollar. This is the 4-hour chart of the euro dollar, and the bulls are extending the recent gains. So the next target for the bulls is located at the level of 1.1009, 1.1019. So this is the next supply zone. We can move our indication of the supply zone a little bit higher. So let me just zoom in. It looks like bulls doesn't want to stop moving up. Momentum is strong. Momentum is positive. So all of these previous zones will now act as a support actually for the bulls. So our supply zone I don't know if it fits here. Maybe it will. There you go. Our supply zone will now, of course, be the main target for the bulls. So let me just switch this this rectangle here so everyone can see what is it. Yes, there you go. So this is the supply zone, one of the oldest one that we have on our 4-hour chart. Of course, everything needs to be moved, and there you go. This is the supply zone. Oh, those labeling here is not really necessary anymore. Nevertheless, that's the next target. This zone here, as that used to be the supply zone, now it will become the demand zone. So 1.0930, 1.0948 is now the demand zone. Sorry, yes, demand zone, and it can be even labeled as the, of course, technical support for the bulls. Next target is located here. As you can see, momentum is positive, so we should see more upside soon. Because we got the data from the USA, and the US dollar and Japanese yen is very susceptible to the NFP payrolls. Let's just take a look what is going on here. The long period of this horizontal trend might be considered these days as the partial distribution. So the level of 150.89 is the key swing high these days. The market tried many times to break above this level, but it failed. And then we got the breakout below the local technical support, 149.22, and then, of course, after this breakout occurred, we went towards the next technical support, next immediate technical support, 147.65, the level I have mentioned many times during the analysis. So right now we are consolidating around this level. If, however, this level is violated, again, the next target is the low of the February 2024, located at 145.91. Please notice on the 4-hour chart, market conditions are extremely oversold. We might see some sort of the bounce to the upside, and of course, in that situation, the level of 149.55 and the level of 149.22 will be considered as the technical resistance. Basically, I wanted to say supply zone, but it's not that that clear anymore. It will be mostly working as the supply zone. One more level I would like to add, which might be a little bit more interesting than the previous two, is 148.90, because this one was tested already, broken, tested from the above, and then the market went up. So this level might be very interesting as well, 148.90. So please stay focused, keep an eye on the levels. The moving averages are breaking already to the downside, so you can see some sort of the bearish developments, especially if the NFP payrolls data will, of course, let's say, will not be that good as everyone expects. Let's go back to the gold, because it looks like we have another high on the gold. We have another high on the gold, and this time, as you can see, the black line is the previous high. This time is located roughly around, it's 2,164 already. Despite the fact that market, the momentum on the 4-hour chart is extremely overbought, the market doesn't actually slows down. And this level here will now act as the technical support for sure. So the market can basically move step by step, higher and higher. There's one more very interesting indicator I would like to use. We are not using it very often, but Bollinger Bands, if we can find it, there you go. Standard Bollinger Bands might be very handy for this kind of a trading, because we can see that the market is already one standard deviation above the average price, and it's still trending up and up, yeah, higher and higher. Local technical resistance, let me just pastel it on the, let me just mark it on the chart, pastel the line, 2,160 64. The upper Bollinger Band boundary is 2171, the lower is 2112. So right now we are in the upper Bollinger Band, keep moving higher as the momentum is very, very strong. And last but not least, let's take a look what is doing the US dollar index because of the market data, of course, NFP payrolls, scheduled for this later on. Let me just remove the Bollinger Band so we can have the clearer picture. Now, if we zoom out, we can see that the market breaks below the blue trend line. Yeah, that was already done. And after the consolidation here, the level of let's say, let me just mark it for you, 103.40 was violated. Now it will act as a technical resistance. Slide of the little consolidation, and then down we go. And of course we hit our technical support, 102.77. Extremely oversold conditions, and the market is consolidating down there. Nevertheless, if we break lower and if the NFP data will disappoint the market participants, there is room to the downside. However, there is no room on the RSI. So if we move to the downside and we won't bounce immediately back up, there might be a new local trend developing on the US dollar index, which means that that basket of the currencies quoted to the US dollar might be gaining, and as the US dollar will weaken across the board. So the euro dollar up in that situation, cable up in that situation, US dollar to the Japanese yen down in that situation, and gold most likely will go up as well. That's everything for me for this NFP payrolls briefing. Thank you very much for watching this analysis, and I hope I see you guys next time. Take care and bye bye.